Hey, fellas. Been a while since I've kind of done one of these things. 3 weeks, I believe. But hope you guys are doing well. I know I've been in touch with quite a few of you, and hope you had a blessed Fourth. Had an opportunity to kind of celebrate a lot of our freedoms that maybe we take for granted sometimes. But hopefully you had a chance to do that, and you guys are getting. I mean, we're over the hump for summer now. We got about 6 weeks before the freshmen and new guys are reporting back to campus. Right now, it looks as if, man, we are full bore ahead there. I mean, we are getting you on campus. That is a huge goal for the college, and it looks as if that's going to happen. So, yeah, so that's exciting. I want to thank you guys for those of you who kind of wished Amy and I a happy anniversary. Wednesday was number 25 for us, so 25 years together. Yeah, and I have all kinds of thoughts on that. Most of you guys aren't even prepared to hear any of those thoughts on 25 years with one woman, but it has been the best time of my life, and I pray that each of you get to experience that a little bit later. Also, Friday night, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to reach out to Coach Hergott. He and Alicia were married. It was a beautiful wedding. The officiant was kind of a knucklehead, but other than that, it was a good time. Lots of love in that room, and it was good to see some alumni. And I love going to these weddings because we get a chance to see. I mean, Jake's from Lincoln, Nebraska, right? And we had guys from San Clemente. We had guys from San Diego. Guys flying in from all over the place to be at this wedding, and those connections were made here at Northwestern. And whenever I go to these things, I'm just amazed how God brings us all together, and I'm so encouraged. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to many, many more weddings. I know in 2 weeks, the 24th, Coach Santi's getting married. So I don't know if you guys are able to make that. I'm going to be out of town, so I'm going to miss it. But make sure you reach out to Coach Santi and just wish him well on the 24th. I know he would love to see that or hear that. I'm going to kind of elaborate on some of the stuff I sent in the email this afternoon, Sunday afternoon. We had 14 guys finish that Murph Challenge. I was pretty stoked to see that. And last year, I think we only had 8 guys do it. So almost 100% increase. So real proud of the guys that took that challenge. I think we had 7 guys do the Jedi challenge. So they did it with weight. And then we had, I think, 4 or 5 guys do it. They did it without the weight. So they did it, they ran the mile, did 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, then ran another mile. They just did it without the weight, which is equally as hard. I mean, obviously you're minus 20 pounds, and then we had a few guys do the novice one too. So just a couple with the Jedi guys. We had 7 of those guys do that. Luke Jennis was the fastest time with 41 minutes and 39 seconds. That is the 483rd fastest time in the world. So, I mean, you say 483rd, you're like, big deal. But that's like in the world. He is the 483rd fastest time with 41 minutes and 39 seconds. Now, that also includes people that did a modified Murph. So that's not, so he's probably much higher for the people that actually did the Murph, but I didn't have the time to really break that information down. Blake got second on our team with 43 minutes and 15 seconds. His was the 573rd fastest time in the world. Sam was third with 44.54. His was the 659th fastest. Bennett was 48 minutes and 63 seconds. That was 863rd in the world. Matt was 56 minutes and 11 seconds. That's 1,272nd. I'm not sure that's how you say that, but Chase was did his in 58 minutes and 19 seconds. That's 1,386th. And Mason was 63 minutes and 31 seconds. It's 1,605th. So just kind of something fun there. Total, there was close to 2,600 people around the world that did that. So they did the Murph. So, man, kudos to those guys for doing that challenge. I know John, Jake, Chris Vandenbrink, and Zyman also did. They did the master, and then I believe Hagen, Nathan, and Eddie also completed they did the novice one, so they broke it up a little bit. But hey, regardless, tough challenge. Anytime you're doing 100 pull-ups, whether you're doing them all in a row or doing 10 at a time, that adds up. The coffee bean challenge, we had a few guys do that. I think seven or eight. Wish that we could have had a few more. Great video. If you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it. Heck, I'll even give you points if you want to do it, because I think it's that important. The message in the video is key. So go back and read through that or watch it. It's 15 minutes long. Tell me 2 things that you would do after watching that video. 2 things that you can implement into your day-to-day life, or a perspective that might change after watching it. But something to think about. That chop wood, carry water challenge, that's a video a week or a couple videos a week. Man, we need to get more people involved with that. I think this last week we asked you to watch 2 Cael Sanderson matches. And Matt, Josh, Bennett, Luke, Blake, Sagnus, Sam, and Jake were the only ones that did it. So I know we can do better, and maybe it's just a matter of, I don't know, I put it off and I forget about it. So my challenge would be, and this is a good lesson for life, when you get that text from Dylan that says, this is the video I want you to watch, man, drop what you're doing, take 10 minutes, watch the video, jot down some ideas, and get it sent off. All right, do it then, because if I'll do it later is forgotten. Later is forgotten. Do it now. The power of now. And I'll talk about that in a second. But so now we're up to our new challenge. All right, our new challenge for the next 2 weeks. You get 2 weeks to do this challenge. This is probably the hardest challenge that you're going to do. All right, because it's a fast. I want you to try to fast for 30 hours. You can't eat anything. Okay, you can't eat anything. You can drink water. If you want to throw a little protein in that water, I'm sure that's fine too, but you cannot eat anything. You can't have a smoothie or anything like that. So I would challenge you in the next 2 weeks to pick a 30-hour window and complete this challenge. And when we fast, fellas, fasting is not about, hey, look how tough I am. When we fast biblically, and it talks about this in Matthew 6, but when we fast biblically, we do it in a way where no one knows that we're fasting. Because if you're going to fast, and this goes into January, when you guys are making weight and you are like walking around and pouting and you're just miserable and you want everyone to see how miserable you are, that's, I don't know, for the lack of a better word, it's pathetic. So what this is going to challenge you to do is when you're fasting, try to fast in such a way that people don't know you're fasting. All right? Try not to be gloomy. I think what Christ says in Matthew 6:16, he says, "Do not put on a gloomy face as the hypocrites do, for they neglect their appearance so that they will be noticed by men when they are fasting." You don't want to be noticed. So I would challenge you to pick a 30-hour window, start the fast, but don't tell anyone that you're doing it. Except, I would encourage you to find a partner, someone on the team that you know, or maybe and just say, hey, you know what, Luis, I'm going to start my fast at midnight on this date. You want to do it with me? And then the both of you do it together. He's the only other person that knows I'm doing the fast. Okay, so I would challenge you to do that. It's probably, like I write it in the email, it's probably the hardest challenge this summer, because it's 30 hours that you are asked to refrain from eating during a time when you normally don't have to do that. If I were to ask you to fast during the season, most of you are doing that anyway, and you shouldn't be. But now I'm asking you to fast, and to help you through the fast, we always piggyback the fast with another challenge, and the challenge is the one-word challenge. And the one-word challenge is a John Gordon challenge, and I emailed you a protocol. So I emailed you a sheet of paper that kind of a worksheet that helps you work through this. And what this is, all right, is it talks about you're going to look in, all right? So you're going to prepare your heart. You're going to look in your heart. You're going to unplug from the noise. So I want you during this fast at some point in time, put your phone away, put the iPod away, and just sit down and listen. Quiet your mind and listen to your heart. And ask, there's 3 questions I want you to ask. What do I need? What's in my way? And what needs to go? All right? What do I need? What's in my way? What needs to go? And then you're asked to look up. All right? Step 2 is to discover your word. And the premise behind this is God has a word that He's speaking into your life. All right? So you ask the question, God, what do you want to do in me or through me? Okay? And chances are that God has been putting this word on your heart for a while. Okay? But the premise is you have this one word that's going to remind you of your goals or your passions throughout the year. So it's not a resolution, it's one word. All right? And then after you've picked that word, the challenge is to look out. All right? So you look in your heart, you look up to God, and then you look out. And you're going to write down 3 things that you will do to make sure that you have a regular reminders of your word. So you're going to put it someplace. You're going to tell someone. Are you going to... I don't know what you're going to do. My word for the year is urgency, and I was really pushed by that, or pushed to that. The last book I'm reading this book now again with the coaches. It's The Last Arrow by Erwin McManus. This dude is a stud, and this is a great book. Guys that are asking me what to read, this is a great book to read, The Last Arrow. And he talks about on page 26, talks about the power of now, and I kind of mentioned that before, but the power of now is so often we put things off, right? And so he says things like this: urgency can be fueled by many things: passion, conviction, even compassion. It's urgency that gives our passions deadlines. That I have an urgency, I have a passion, I have a desire to do something. Urgency tells me I need to work on this now, not later. All right? Passion is the fuel that brings urgency, and leadership is about bringing urgency to the things that matter most. So that's my word for the year: urgency. That I'm not going to put it off, put things off for tomorrow. I'm going to, especially when they can be done today. So those videos, chop wood, carry water, those videos can be done today. All right. The fast, you can do the fast now. You don't need to wait until the last minute to do that. So anyway, you get your fast done. You select your word. When you're done with your fast and you picked your word, shoot me a text. Tell me I'm done. This is my word. And then I'm probably going to ask you some questions. You know, what was your first meal? I'm going to want to know what your first meal after the fast was. And hopefully you're classy and you pick something with substance. We've had some guys say hot dogs, and I'm thinking 30 hours, and that's the first thing you wanted was a hot dog. So anyway, you have until July, I believe it is July 25th. Actually Sunday, July 26th to complete your fast. All right. And again, I would encourage you, find a partner to do it with. Okay. Find someone to do it with on the team. And because misery loves company. But again, don't do this fast and be miserable. Don't do that. Fight that urge. Okay. A couple other things that I put in here in the email, just to remind you: physicals are due. You have to have your physical before you can lift or work out, all right? Or even come to open mat. So get that physical done. I sent you the ATS sheets for you to print out so you can get that physical. I think I have 3 guys right now that have done it: Zyman, Heaney, and Eddie. There might be a few others of you. Just let me know. Send those physicals to me, and I'll make sure they get to the right spot. Freshman orientation is going to be on Friday, August 21st. Freshman and new student orientation. I sent the link for that in the email. So click on that so you kind of have an idea of what the schedule is. They'll give you some COVID updates and stuff. But yeah, so be mindful of that. Freshmen and new people, all right? Freshmen and new guys. We'll usually have like an orientation or like an open house where we'll have some goodies, and we'll just bring the new guys together, and I'll talk to you a little bit. If we have gear available at that point, we'll hand that gear out to you. But it's just a time for your parents to get to meet each other, for you to meet my family, and yeah, and I always get Josh to make some stuff that it's not very good for us. So he does that, and it's good stuff. So that will be sometime during the day, August 21st. So be on the lookout for that. Last thing I have, and I'll let you guys go. Work study. Make sure for you new guys, I sent some directions on how to sign up for work study. You can follow that handshake icon on the My Northwestern. But even if you have a captain or someone that you know on the team that has work study, ask them, because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if someone has connections, they can maybe point you in the direction for work study. So if you have any questions, feel free to give me a holler. Last two things I have. And these are just kind of celebrations, and one's a prayer concern. But this coming Saturday, on July 18th, we have eight guys going to be that are going to be graduating. I think only 4 of them can make it to campus. But for you guys that are returning, reach out to a senior. Just maybe congratulate them on finishing. But just be thinking about them as they are finally getting to the end of their college career. And the last thing I have, Corbin Pavlik, he's a guy on our team, for you new people, a heavyweight for us. His grandma passed away early this week. So this past week, her funeral is on July 19th. It's a Sunday. So I would ask you to just be praying for Corbin. And yeah, and as I said in the email, pray for Corbin, but keep striving, keep finding ways to challenge your mind, your spirit, and your body. Keep reaching out and encourage one another, and keep feeding that passion. Live for the now, all right? Practice urgency in your day-to-day life, and get that fast done, dang it. You got it? All right. I'm out. Talk to you in a few weeks.